نستنوا الاودينس تزيد شوي ونبدا.
Okay.
Great. Just a heads up notice. المرة هذه باش نحاولوا نعملوا workshop بالانجلي. It's gonna be very basic and easy English to understand. خاطر الفيديو فاتت بارتاجي مع عباد ما يفهموش بالعربي. So أي حاجة ما تفهموش تنجموا تسألوني بالعربي. Do not be shy. just حل الميكرو نتاعك ولا أبعث ميساج في الشات بالعربي نورمال. نحاول نجاوب الناس الكل. إذا كان ما وافقتش بالكومنتس نتاعكم هكا إيمان معنا جوست وصل لي. أما باش نحكي أنجلي. دونك ما تخافوش منه الأنجلي أسهل برشا من العربي سورتو في الأمور التكنيك. So that's it from my side. Let's wait 3 minutes. Okay. Meanwhile نحاول نبارتاجي الإكران تاعي معاكم. Screen 2. Okay.
I'd like to give a notice غرونا على Quick Labs. So أنا ما نخدم على Quick Labs بالنسبة للناس اللي ممكن ما مش تابعين GDSC و they'd like to have المنصة.
oui.
Yeah, you can contact us later on و contact me حسير وأنا بعث لكم procedures totally fun. باش تاخذ monthly subscription if you're really interested باش تكملوا على Quick Labs. أنا أتخيل GDSC members already عندهم الأكسس. We send it every month.
أكيد.
Yes. So 2 minutes هكا نبدأ.
Really, I'm seeing a familiar face. أهلا ما لبس عليك. وينك يا أمال؟ الميكرو نتاعك مسكر. كجو في الشات. هاي بيه. Donc, je pense il est temps. نبدأ. So, hi everyone, my name is Mouafek Ayadi. I'm a data scientist. Also an AI engineer, but like I'm a full-time data scientist and I'm doing artificial intelligence as a part-time and a consultancy job. So sometimes they look similar like data science and AI, but they're actually not that very similar. And today, I'm honored to be with you on the GDG Carthage DevFest. It's one of the biggest events, and I want to thank all the people that made this happen. I want to start by thanking Iman and Init. It's the oldest engineering school in Tunis, and it's the only engineering school that I did not do an event with so far. So after doing an event with Init, I will be posting that on LinkedIn. I stopped posting on LinkedIn since last year, but I think this is going to be big because after doing the event with Enid, it's going to be like I covered all engineering schools. So today we will be talking, as usual, with GDG events and GDSE events about Google technologies. And we're going to be focusing on GCP. So people who know me know that I'm always talking about GCP, even though I do not use it professionally. I actually use Microsoft Azure. Sorry, Sander Pichai and Google. Well, like professionally, I use Microsoft Azure. So we will cover, as usual, artificial intelligence topic. And today's topic is how to use AutoML, which is automated machine learning. And for that, we will use one of the best educational platforms. It's called Quick Labs. And this is dedicated for you to learn technical cloud technologies and cloud services. So Quick Labs was the go-to solution to learn AWS. And then Google, they have done one of their famous things is to buy successful products, and they bought Quick Labs, and now it's hosting Google services, and you can learn from it. So together we will try to learn Vertex AI. So GCP has a lot of services. So GCP stands for Google Cloud Platform. And Vertex AI is a one-stop shop for all your artificial intelligence needs. So you can start from scratch until you deploy your artificial intelligence model into production. You have all the possible pipelines, all the possible inputs and outputs in one stop shop. We call this omni-channel. So it's just one channel that you can have all the capabilities to do your prototyping, your modeling, your putting into production, all what you can think about it in the realm of artificial intelligence. So in here, it's my LinkedIn page. You guys can send me an invitation, and you can send me text if you want to ask about things. Please do not send me codes that do not work. I hate correcting other people's source code. Do not do that. I will not correct your source code. Well, like if you have a technical question, maybe I can help with that.
The screen
Moving
is
on.
not
Yeah,
shared.
please go
The
ahead.
screen is not shared. I don't know. Can I share it? Yes, I think it stopped.
Oh, my sharing stopped. Okay, that's awkward. So I was the only one seeing my own LinkedIn. Okay. Yeah, I was not sharing my screen. Allow.
And now you are.
Yeah,
Yes.
like this always happens. One time I have finished an entire event. I thought I was sharing my screen, and then like people were only listening to my voice, not seeing the screen. Okay, so this is my page. You can get in touch with me here, and I'll put it in the comments. So you can contact anyone in GDSE groups to get your quick access. So Google gives you free credentials to learn for free each month. You only need to finish one lab, and then you will have a full month free access. So we'll be using quick labs. For me, like I have credits. I have 6 credits left. This like lab only take 1 credit, so I will just use my own credit to gain some time. Let's start. So I think now you are seeing building a fraud detection model with Vertex AI Automate. So who knows, you know that I'm in an investment bank and we deal with financial assets, and detecting fraud is one of the main topics that we deal with on a daily basis. And I'm not saying that we use this kind of technology, exact technology for our challenges, but like, it's definitely a great product. What is so fraud detection? Like you can have the big challenge is the imbalance of data sets. I will not do a lot of introductions about AI, DS, cloud, because I'm assuming if you are with us today, you have basic knowledge about that. And in AI, we have a big challenge. It's called imbalance of data sets. So let's say um, you have a data set of in finance, for example, financial transaction. So you go to the grocery store and you buy with your banking card, and you pay online, and you do all that stuff. So you repeat the selling and buying operation like 1,000 times, 10,000 times, 100,000 times, and there is no problem in that. Except sometimes people will use your credentials to buy things for themselves, like sniffing and spoofing, which are security issues. They can use your banking details to buy themselves stuff. So let's say I have 1 million, and with my 1 million, I will like buy 100 different stuff, and there is like 100 person like me. So 100 by 100 is like 10,000. So 10,000 legitimate financial transaction. Except if my banking credentials were stolen, somebody will use that money for their own sake. And this is like a very rare event that happens. So each like 10,000 transaction, you will have one fraudulent transaction. This is an imbalanced data set. Now let's take another example. Let's say we have a binary classification with a data set of 100,000, and the target is going to be 0 and 1 since it's a binary classification. And in the category of 0, we have 95,000 0, and only 5,000. That's a highly imbalanced data set. What's the problem with this highly imbalanced data set? That the machine learning model that is learning there is not enough data, and that there is not enough data patterns to learn both of the classes, like the class 0 and the class 1. There's not enough data to learn both of them. And it cannot establish patterns in the data to learn how to make distinction between the 0 and 1. And this is like, for example, let's say you have a team. This is another example. Let's say you have a team, and this team always win, like Barcelona, Real Madrid, Chelsea. They always win. Like they have 1,000 win and 0 loss or 1 loss. So they win 1,000 times and they only lose 1 time or 2 times. That's an imbalance of data set. So the machine learning problem, the machine learning model do not find the pattern to recognize between when the team will lose. But most certainly, they will know that in more than 95% of the time, those sports teams are going to win. This is the issue we are facing. And we have the anomaly detection. I have worked on that. I have built an AI model to detect financial anomalies. And it's being sold to a lot of different companies, and is a very successful one. And it can detect this highly imbalanced data. So before thinking about AI, before thinking about cloud, you need to understand the business you are dealing with, the challenge that you are dealing with. In this workshop, which I did not start it yet, there's a big important aspect, which is people who want to have their own startups and the leadership part. So a lot of people, like a lot of people in business schools and engineering schools, they want to start their own startup, their own business, their own companies. And they want, for example, to use AI, use new technologies. We call them deep tech startups. And they want to be AI leaders and to be AI figures. In our community in Tunis, we know a couple of names. So there is Elias Manai. I always mention Elias. I don't know if people send him my clips mentioning him. And we know Karim, the founder, Karim Zahra, the founder of Institute. They are AI leaders in our national community. How did they gain this reputation? Is by having a solid understanding of artificial intelligence technicalities. To be a leader in your own community, you gotta understand the things that you are talking about. This is not just, hey, I'm gonna use cloud, I'm gonna use artificial intelligence, and it's not like I'm gonna start my own startup because I have a lot of energies and I know people and I'm well connected. No, you gotta understand your technology first. If you wanna leverage a successful business, you gotta understand the technology behind that. And cloud enables most people to have their own prototypes, fast prototypes. One of those services is the Vertex AI AutoML, which stands for Vertex Artificial Intelligence Auto Machine Learning. You can find this with Microsoft Azure and with AWS. So Google in here, they did not invent the wheel because people before them have done that. But the good thing, it's really easy to understand, and they give you access to learn this. If you are a student, of course, you have access to learn this for free. So I encourage you to be a member of GDSC clubs and have this great experience. So now we have talked about ways fraud detection. We have talked about the platform that we are, the platform and the service we are going to use, and we have talked about two different and very important aspects, which are being a startupper and being a leader in the realm of artificial intelligence. Now we're gonna leverage that, all of that. You can leverage all of these informations if you learn with us in this world to deal with um, these services. So for you, I will leave it to the lead of the GDSCs, and if you are part of GDG Carthage or other different Google groups, to show you how to get the free credits. And for today, we're gonna start the lab because I have the credits. Hopefully it starts now. So, launch with 1 credit. So good question, what does AI mean? Vertex AI is one-stop shop for all your related artificial intelligence services. So you can have your own Jupyter notebooks. If you are a Python developer, you will install probably Anaconda. You're gonna have your Jupyter notebook. And then if you want to create your own engineering pipeline, you will have like special parts for your own pipelines that is going to be visualized. If you want to import your data and use it, you're going to have the part of the data set. And by the way, we are going to use a public data for this. The other thing is the production. Once you have your mature model, you can put into production, and all of this is just in one platform. So We're gonna copy the username. We're gonna open it in Google Console. Copy paste. Now we're gonna copy the password. When you work with GCP at Quick Labs, you better use Google Chrome and you go to incognito mode so it does not confuse your user account with the Quick Labs Gmail account. So always go to incognito. And now we can understand together the architecture behind this great technology. So at the bottom, we can see the pipeline orchestration, and it's a huge pipeline. So if you build this from scratch, it will take you one project. It can take you very, very long time to do it. So I think you are seeing one screen. I don't know, right? Oh. Hopefully, I'm not sure you are seeing what screen. So, guys, if you confirm you are seeing Quick Lab with me.
We're seeing a white screen. It's not loading yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna stop presenting and I'm gonna share again. Informator l'integralité de votre écran, second screen, allow. Can you see the shared screen now?
No, not yet.
Yeah, not yet. It's weird.
This is really weird. It happens a lot of time with Google Meet. Okay, I'm gonna stop it again. Internet issue. Usually my internet is really good. I don't know why this is happening. Okay. Let's go to Quick Labs. Hello.
Yeah, it's working now.
Finally, Google, you need to work on your Google Meet because it sucks. And the quality picture sucks too. But I should not say this. This is like a Google event. Your Google Meet is great. So at the bottom, we can see the pipelines. So if you're gonna build all of this stuff by yourself for just one project, it's gonna take you at least 1 year. And if you want to like create this for your future projects by yourself, it's gonna take you years and years, and the quality might be horrible. This is what we are talking about, the leadership part. If you wanna be an aspiring leader, a leader on your campus, a leader in your business, you gotta use tools that make you win time, have great quality products, and when you have this kind of architecture, you can like understand and put the right talent into the right place. So in here, as hardwares, we have AI accelerators. I'm sure you know NVIDIA. So a lot of like deep learning models are being trained on NVIDIA GPUs, which are graphical processing unit. You can also have CPUs, and they are usually Intel servers. If, for example, you work with Google Colab, it gives you access. So Google Colab is a free AI notebooks online for research. You can use a lot of great technologies. And then you have in here, like for experiments, you make your own experiments until you get the right combination of data and models. You have optimizations, you have your own data set, and in here, which is like the objective is to have your own predictions. And this is a new thing, is the explainable AI. So usually with AI, we face a really challenging thing is how to explain the results. So for example, in finance, a lot of like financial executives, they will tell you, okay, your model is great, except you cannot explain how the model is making these results. They discard your research, and they will go for less better models because they are less risky. And by risky, I mean if something bad happens, you can explain that bad thing have happened. And you can have like your AI thing being explained with visualizations. So these platforms enable to visualize the results, therefore like have a better understanding. And after that, we're gonna move to the upper layer, which is the auto machine learning. This is what we're gonna use. So for auto machine learning, you can use it on NLP, which is natural language processing. You can use for computer vision. You can use for tabular data, which is our case today. And this is only with a few click of a buttons. So today, model to train, it takes around 2 hours. For us, of course, we do not have 2 hours, so we will use a pre-trained model that have the same results. And without effort and without us having a deep solid understanding of the technical part, but this really helps us to make decisions faster. And I'm not saying the automat does not give great results. It actually can give perfect results in no time. This is how you leverage technologies to your side to build your own startup or like improve your product in the company that you have in the future. And if you are a student, you can use this for your own project. So you have like a graduation project or something going on, and like technology to get the job done for you. It's not for all use cases, but it certainly can help some of you, and it's not that expensive. Now, for the header in here, we have data readiness, feature engineering, hyperparameter tuning, model serving, understanding tuning, edge. And this is one of the best things. So the edges, like the edge devices, like mobile phones, laptops, and this is where the AI is going to be used. This is not easy to do if you are designing these kind of things from scratch. You need to have softwares for you, otherwise it's going to take a lot of time. So after that, we have model monitoring. So the AI is going to be learning, and you will monitor how the AI is learning. If there is like it starts to memorize things, it will reduce the performance. If it does not understand, you will have visualization charts that shows the underfitting and similar things. And then you have model management without actually going to the source code, or you go to the source code, it's minimal intervention. So model management is a very interesting thing. It's not like every time you're going to open the notebook and like start coding again. No. It's an easier way to interact with the AI model. So now we go to so we have ended with the theoretical parts, and now we're going to go to the technical parts. We will start by enabling Vertex AI API, and like I said, these are services, and each service an API. So using services, you need to enable. So you can see that. So I have shared one tab instead of the whole screen. So the whole screen sharing did not work. So I tried with one tab, but now hopefully it works. You will get the image soon. So Vertex AI, and it's in here. We click on it. Okay. I think once again, Google
Mr. Mouafek, I think share screen قاعد
Yes.
لقى period وتتنحى.
Yeah, I saw that. I will try to share again.
Yes, we can share.
Okay, great. Like mostly they need to improve Google Meet. It always do this kind of embarrassing stuff. So this is the Vertex AI. It's an API. So all Google Cloud services are APIs almost, and you need to enable each API when you try to work with it. Why? Because when you enable in some of them, you will be paying money. So the wise thing is only enable the API when you are going to. This is the best practice. Usually, the standard form is pay to go. When you use things, you pay for the things. You use a lot, you use a little bit. And sometimes you need to avoid having mistakes like you forget a virtual machine working or you forget the model that you do not need working. So it's a best practice to stop those services and to disable the API. So now we have enabled the Vertex API. We will start working with it. So we will create a notebook instance. So we still on the Vertex AI page, and we will go to the workbench. It's in here. It stopped by itself. This is like unbelievable. Okay, I will use another screen. Maybe like this is the problem, which I'm sure it's not, but like. So I did not stop sharing this screen. It stopped by itself, but we will share again. Entire screen allow. So yeah, great. It's sharing. My apologies, guys. It's not on me. Google Meet is not working perfectly. Like we said, we are on the Vertex AI service, and we are going to the workbench. In the workbench, we're going to create our own notebook. And we will use a Python notebook. So we do not need to install things when we are working on these kind of services. everything almost is pre-installed for you. So we're gonna create a new notebook, and it's gonna be Python 3. And what I said, it's pre-installed for you. In here, you can add a Python 3 with Coda. Coda is the toolkit if you are going to use GPU, which is related to NVIDIA technologies. And you have the famous TensorFlow. You have all PyTorch. You have the Rapid, which is an GPU accelerator. And you have Python. If you are computing on tag, you are familiar with that. That's one I don't know it. But for us, we're going to use the first one. It's Python 3. And like I said, this is like very beginner friendly. It's not like it's only for beginners. Like if you spend 5 years doing this, it's always a pleasure to use it. So we create, by clicking on the thing create, we will spend 2 minutes for the service to create virtual machine learning for us. So now we are having a virtual machine in one of Google data centers, and it takes 2 to 3 minutes to allocate those resources so we can start. In here, we are seeing that the resource is being created. We hide the info panel. And the virtual that we are using is it's a CPU. You will not be using a GPU, and it has 4 cores with 16 gigabytes of RAM. Actually, it's saying it's 15 gigabytes of RAM, but it's like when you have 16 gigabytes of RAM, technically you will never have that. It's like always that. So it's like 15.
Mr. Mouafek, there is stuttering in the sound, so I'm not so sure. I think maybe the internet connection is causing that. Like, suit is not continuous.
Can you hear me now clearly?
It's a little better, but I think the internet connection is so down.
Yeah, thank you, Top, for disappointing me.
Oh my god.
Like, so we hate So I have like I live by myself, and I have like 12 megabytes of ADSL connection that I only use by myself. So this should not happen, but it happens.
Oh gosh.
So where are we? Oh, the notebook has been created. So we're gonna open the Jupyter Lab, and it's an amazing IDE to develop Python-related products. Once we have opened the Jupyter Lab, we're gonna create a managed dataset. So we go back to the Vertex AI navigation menu, and we open the
screen
dataset.
is stopped sharing.
What?
The share is stopped. The screen sharing
Oh.
again.
Okay, I'm gonna turn off my camera because it takes a lot of megabytes to share. Maybe that will help.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the last trick we can do, like turn off the camera and okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I have turned off my phone, so I'm only using my laptop, and my camera is gonna stay closed, so we have a better internet connection.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
What I was saying, I was talking about Jupyter Lab, and in here in Jupyter Lab, you can find the best environment to develop your Python code. If you need like to develop Python code for production scale, I recommend PyCharm. PyCharm is much better for manipulating .py files. like to connect several Python files together. So I recommend PyCharm. And if you want to have your TensorFlow certification, which definitely will help you as future AI leaders and startuppers, and in your like, if you are a student in your own graduation project, your professional life, I recommend also PyCharm and like to familiarize yourself with it before having your TensorFlow certification. So this is the Jupyter Lab. We're going to open a Python 3 notebook.
Mr. Mouafek,
And
the share
then-
screen is not going.
Oh, it's not sharing.
Yeah.
To allow.
Now we can see your screen. Yay.
Okay, now things are good.
Yes, things are good.
I was talking about this, but clearly you did not see it. So this is like the Jupyter thing. This is what I was talking about. And we open in the Python 3. Now we are in the Python 3. And we will go back to the workshop details. So we're going to create a managed data set. And we're going to start. We're going to go back to the Vertex AI, click on the data sets. We wait for it a little bit. After that, we gonna name the dataset fraud detection. So like this is the real stuff. Create a dataset, fraud detection, and for us, we're gonna use tabular data. It's in here, and we are going to use classification. If it's like fraudulent or not. In here, we're gonna press create. And this is all like most of what you need to do to use automated machine learning. You choose like if you have an image, tabular data, it's like a CSV, Excel, JSON, something like that. Or you have a text to have NLP, you have a video for object detection. And then you will choose like what task you want to do. For us, what we want to do is classification. So I have pressed on create. If the tasks have been finished, you will have a notification in here. After that, we're going to import the data from Bigquery. So Bigquery is the big data, is the Google Cloud Platform big data, one of the big data services. And this is good for SQL lovers. So it's based on SQL, which we can call SQL, and it has a lot of options. So with Bigquery, you can inject machine learning models into your SQL treatments, which is like very unique. I think I do not know another platform that you can use like SQL and AI in the same thing. So there is the Databricks, but it's not the same logic. So Databricks is one of the greatest one-stop shop for AI and data engineering. And it's easier to use SQL and AI with Bigquery. So in here, we're going to upload the CSV file from our computers. Upload CSV files from your computer. No. On the add data to your dataset, select data source, select table or view from Bigquery. So this is what we're going to do. And we're going to get our data from Bigquery by copy pasting this link. Good. Continue. Please continue. And we should visualize our data set that we have imported from Bigquery. By the way, Bigquery is super, super, super fast. It can like do analysis on terabytes of data in just a couple of minutes. If you do it on your machine, it will probably take days. So this is the data set, and this is the important part. When you are working in financial with financial instrument, everything is a secret. You do not know anything. So you have the amount, the class, the time. So the target is going to be the class for us to make the classifications. But none of the other features we know it. Like we do not know what the rest of the features are. And this is like a data protection thing. If you are a customer at a bank, you do not want other people to know your personal data. And it's illegal for banks to share these kind of details. So they are anonymized. It's called V1 to V29, I think. Yeah, V28. These data are anonymized, and we will try to make our machine learning model around this anonymized data. And it's going to be successful, of course. If you go to Kaggle and you compete in financial related competitions, you will see that it's very frequent. And for a while it drives you crazy, but you get used to it. And you implement solutions of data that you do not actually understand what it is. So we're going to start the training job. So on the dataset detail page, on the right side, we're going to click train new model. So it takes a minute to import your data model. It literally takes 30 seconds to do this. The objective is classification, and then we press continue. We're going to use automated machine learning. The model name, we do not care about that. Under model details for target column, select under model details, advanced options, model details, target column, select class. Oh yeah. So this is a classification scenario. So we are going to classify the class, the feature that is called the class. Then we continue. By the way, you need to split your data. Like 80% is like training, 10% validation, and 10% testing. It's like the standard things to do. Now in the advanced options, we will use the optimization objective. I think it's going to be area under the curve precision recall. Yeah. This is really, sorry guys.
You're back. Great.
Google Meet have shut down by itself again. So share my screen again. Screen 2 and allow. Nice. So I'm going to see my internet speed. I'm sure I have a great internet speed. Well, let's test it. Okay. Yeah, it's like 8 megabytes. I was sure it's because of Google Meet. Yeah, it's a free product, so. Oh, the upload speed sucks. Yeah, that's why. My apologies. This is because of TopNet. It should not be this bad. We go back to our workshop, and I was saying if you are working with imbalanced datasets, we need to choose a specific metric. So our metric is area under the curve precision recall. And this is really good if we have imbalanced dataset like the fraudulent transactions. This option maximizes the precision recall for the coming classes, and we will understand that together. So we press continue, and we enable early stopping. So if the model stops improving, so if you like train for 100 epoch and the model stops improving after 20 epochs, there is no need to like waste your time and money on that. For budget, we're going to use one node, and if you will have several nodes, it will make it faster, but for us, we do not. It's like a free resource, so no need for that. And finally, we have started the training of the AI. So this will take 2 hours. Of course, we will not be here for 2 hours. We will see the results of the model that have been provided for us by Quick Labs. On the right pane, we can see the training Java model is training. We can go inside of it. After some time, we will have informations about our model being trained. Meanwhile, we're going to explore the model evaluation metrics, and this is what we will get. We call this the confusion matrix, and we have two kind of things to consider: the true label and the predicted label. So the true label 0. So 0 is not fraudulent, and 1 means fraudulent. So the not fraudulent was detected with 100% accuracy, and the fraudulent ones, their precision was 85%. So our model is perfect detecting not fraudulent transactions, but is only 85% good when detecting fraudulent transactions. We will see the interpretation in here. Yeah, so that confirms what we are talking about. And this kind of visualization, so if you are using a notebook, you will need to print your own confusion matrix. But if you are using Jupyter Notebook in here, you need to type the source code. I'm seeing some messages, so I will try to read them. Okay. Basically, what's the difference between Vertex AI and the other ML lifecycle platforms? Though, why should I go for it? So, Vertex AI is actually a rebranding of Google AI platform. They changed the name and they integrated all what you need into one place. So this is like a stand from Google to like put together all what they need. But the question is, what's the difference between using this or Microsoft Azure?
They're almost exactly the same. Google have joined this game a little bit late. So this technology already exists with Amazon and Microsoft. Except Google gives you like the privilege to learn this for free, and it's easy. That's why I'm a big fan of this, and overall big fan of Google technologies. For the rest of the questions, because like Google Meet has shut down, so I cannot see all the questions. So please, if you have asked something, ask it again so I can see it.
I can resend all.
Now we go back
Can,
to our results.
I
The
can
best
send,
thing in
and I'm
machine learning is how to use the features. How to use. So before doing like statistical model or any AI model, you need to see the correlation between different features, see the collinearity of different features, try to only use the significant features. And this process takes a lot of time and effort, and interpretations are not always that great. But with machine learning, you can like use a decision tree based algorithm to detect the best and most influential features that you can use for your model. We call this feature importance. And in here, it gives me that the feature number 14 is the most important one. The second one is V4, V10, V12. So it's not necessary for me to waste my time training my model with the rest of the features. I will take the top 10 features and train my model. You can literally do this in a couple of minutes, but if you do it statistically, it's going to take a lot of time. So for example, if I'm using Cat Boost, I prefer Cat Boost. I can make a feature importance, get the best features in a couple of minutes, and train my model with Cat Boost, and it can do everything for me. If you do not know Cat Boost, it's a better library than XGBoost, and I highly recommend it. By the way, I'm going to share with you my GitHub. So in my GitHub, you're going to find a lot of artificial intelligence projects, and they are open for you like to use. And you can follow me on GitHub. I'm always active, and whenever I change something or I do something, like you will receive it. I'm going to show you some notebooks some repos that I have. So here in GitHub, you can follow me. So once you follow me, when you open your GitHub, you will see all the updates. So this is it. These are the repositories. You can have NLP from 0 to hero is an old one for an old event, but I keep updating these old repos. So it's essentially TensorFlow, but then I put some spacey, and I have added scikit-learn. So scikit-learn, it turned out to be a great library for NLP. I thought scikit-learn does not do NLP, but then I was shocked. And it's really great for NLP. Here you can fork any project and you change whatever the hell you want. And here you can start any repo. So if you start the repo, you will have a quick access for it. So I highly recommend you like spending more time on GitHub. I can see somebody has followed me already. Thank you. And
That would be
let's
me.
go back to, oh my God. Like I was talking about something that you cannot see again.
Oh gosh.
I have two screens. Like I wish things were better. That's what I was talking about, like my GitHub in here. So that's what I was talking about. So the repositories are here. You can find also all my live streamings, which are a lot. You can learn all artificial intelligence stuff on cloud from my repositories and down here, and in a couple of days I will put today's workshop 2 in here. It's TensorFlow, it's PyTorch, it's Microsoft Azure, GCP, and everything. And by the way, most of them are with Tunisian universities, and it's in Tunisian dialect. Now let's go back to our workshop. Our model is still being trained. We have explained, oh, now I remember. I opened my GitHub to show you the cat boost. I start one thought and then I forget why I started the thing. So you go to repositories and you scroll down to cat boost for dummies. This notebook will show you a lot of tricks. And if you use this notebook in a lot of Kaggle competitions, you will have a good ranking. So check that out. And if you are interested in ensemble learning, you can come to this repo and you can check XGBoost algorithm. And by the way, the automated machine learning are based on these source codes. So that's why I'm explicitly talking about it. Where am I? Yeah, I'm here. So now we have explained our model results, and we have explained the feature importance of our dataset. We're going to deploy the model to an endpoint. This is like one of the difficult things to do in real life. So after you go around and have pleasure developing your AI model, then you get stuck. How will I put this into real life? Well, if you are using cloud, you will just go in here and you have an endpoint and it makes your life easy, like you can connect whatever you want. So we're gonna follow the steps. Since our model did not finish training, we're gonna use a pre-trained model. So we're gonna log into this. And we will copy paste an authentication key. We're gonna get a pre-trained model to test our endpoint. Yeah, where is... It should give me a result by now. Okay, let's do it again. It's crashing. It's supposed to work. I'm not sure why it's not working. So we read the instruction to allow the pipeline to authenticate and be authorized to call the endpoint to get the predictions. You will need to provide a bearer token. So this is from where we get the bearer token. It should give me this, except it's not. So follow the instruction below to get your token if you wish. Getting your bearer token, this can do to cookies. Okay. Try this step in a non-incognito window. Exactly. Because it have worked before, but I was not in incognito window. So here we are. I hope everything is clear so far. So at the beginning, I tried to make a long introduction into what we are going to have. And I talked about a lot of theoretical aspects to prepare you for the rest of the workshop. And now, if you want to have any questions, please feel free to ask it. In here, we need do not use your personal emails. Use the workshop email. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Yeah. So this is the token. And we're going to use this token in the notebook. So this token will be available for about 60 seconds. So copy and move to the next step. So we're going to go to the Python Notebook 3, and we will put it in a variable. So we're going to call this variable authentication token. Actually, not a variable, it's a constant. The value does not change. All of this token, like for you to retrieve your AI model and work with it. We're gonna add, so this is all of copy pasting. It's not for you like to understand a lot of things. It's like just for you to prep you using your endpoint. So now I'm gonna make a classification. So to make the classification, so you saw that the data set has like around 32 features. So if I'm going to make a prediction, I need to put 30. I need to make a row that has 32 values to make my prediction. So this is my endpoint. This is how I communicate with my AI model. Outside of this, so the AI model is going to be hosted on one of Google. So it's going to be basically put on a production cluster. In Microsoft Azure, we call them AKS. I forgot what we call them in Google, in GCP. And then we're going to give it the data to predict. If this, so I'm going to make a zoom. So this is the data that I will try to predict. So this is the endpoint, and this is the data that I will see if it gives me 0 or 1. I'm gonna okay. Now we're gonna add another cell to the notebook. To make the prediction with the endpoint. So we're gonna import request. We use the Python library request to call our API. We put the authentication key that we have used, that we have saved in here, and we will try to make the prediction. So, ladies and gentlemen, after staying with me for more than 1 hour, now we're gonna see the result of the things that I was talking about and the things that you have learned with me today. So let's see the results. We have called the endpoint using our authentication key, and now the result is going to be saved into the response. To access To access the response, we put print response.json. Shift enter to execute, and boom. The model has classified that this is a non-fraudulent transaction with an accuracy of 99%. So the model is super confident that this is a non-fraudulent transaction. So congratulations, guys, for you to staying with me the whole session to get this magnificent results. By the way, if you do it by yourselves, it's gonna take you just a couple of minutes. The rest is like lags and like what we have experienced during this workshop, a lot of inconveniences. So this only takes a couple of minutes if you do it by yourself. Tell your friends about this result. Maybe they are interested in seeing what have happened. And hopefully the video is going to be shared with you soon. So now our model, we have created the model, we have deployed the model, we have made the prediction using the deployed model. And the last thing is like to clean. So for you not to pay money, so if you are paying, you need to clean the resources that you have used, otherwise it's gonna cost you money. So you can delete the notebook, you can delete the model deployed to the endpoint, and delete the data that you have stored into cloud storage. This way it will not charge you money. But for us, we are here just learning, and this is like free, so no need for us. This is the first result. Thank you for staying with me this whole time, and feel free to ask me any questions that you want. Don't be shy, guys.
So as you said, thank you so much. Mohammed Jid said that was amazing.
Always try to end the lab, because if you do not end the lab and you start another lab, it will not work. So do not forget about that. And like I said in here, you can turn off the Vertex API. Otherwise, that's from my part, and I'm waiting for your questions. Thank you for saying thank you. Thank you, Aziz, and Wijdan, and Stufa, and Muhammad. I'm making a heart shape with my fingers, and then I forgot that the camera is off. You cannot see that. So another time, thank you guys for sticking with me. And Iman, the floor is yours again.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Mouafek, for all the information, for everything. Actually, you have a great style.
Man, I think your microphone is off.
Is off. Can you hear me or no?
Yeah, it's my own. I muted my laptop. That's why I did not hear you.
Oh, right. Yeah, I was talking earlier and I thought maybe you couldn't hear me. I don't know why. So I just حاولت refresh the page and all of that. So now I know why.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Technology is failing us.
God. So yeah, thank you for everything. That was amazing. You have a great style. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I guess, guys, see you again in another event. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.
Yes, goodbye.